Hello and welcome to today's lesson. Today we're doing lesson 7.3, which is equations with the distributive property. So we're going to do some distributing and then we'll have some combining of like terms and we'll be solving for x. All right, let's look at this first problem that we have going on here. So we need to first distribute on this left-hand side to get the parentheses out of here. So we oftentimes draw these arrows in to help us remember what to do. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times a negative 5 is a negative 15. And then we still have plus 1 and 2 plus x. All right, I'm going to be combining some like terms here. So I'm going to do a couple things at the same time. So we see that these two numbers are the like terms and they're on the same side. So that leaves us with 3x, a negative 15 plus 1 is going to be negative 14 equals 2 plus x. Now, I always like to get my letters together next, so their letters are on opposite sides, and I'm going to move the smaller one. So this is a positive x, so I am going to subtract x from both sides. So 3x minus x is 2x minus 14 equals 2. All right, now this is eventually just a two-step problem here, so we have to move that negative 14. So I'm going to add 14 to both sides. So 2x equals 16. And I kind of ran out of room here, so I am just going to recopy it over here. 2x equals 16. And 2 times x, so the opposite of times, is divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And x is 8. All right, so for this problem, x is 8. All right, copy this one down and let's see what you can get. So you should probably pause the video, see if you can do this on your own, and if you get stuck, then just play the video. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is this distributive property. So I'm going to leave this y minus 5, and I still have my equal sign, and I have 3. So now I'm going to take negative 9 times y, and negative 9 times 2 is negative 18. All right, now I'm going to combine my like terms. So I'm going to get my letters together. So I'm going to add 9y. So when I do that, I get 10y minus 5. And over here, these cancel out. And what I'm left with is 3 minus 18. Well, 3 minus 18 is a negative 15. So now I'm going to get my numbers together. So because this is minus 5, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So 10y equals a negative 15 plus 5 is a negative 10. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 10. And y equals, and negative 10 divided by 10 is negative 1. Alrighty, let's go on to another one. So take a minute here, copy this down, and then you go ahead and give it a try. So stop the video, give it a try, and then when you're done, just hit play and see how you did. All right, distributive property. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. And I still have that negative 10 hanging on there at the end. All right, we are now going to combine like terms. So I like to move my smaller one, and because this one's negative, that's going to make this one smaller. So negative 4x. So we're going to add 4x to both sides. So 2x plus 4x is 6x. Now if we look, these two guys right here are both constants, they're numbers. So negative 14 minus 10 is a negative 24. And over on the right hand side, these cancel out and we're left with 12. All right, now we have to move this negative 24. So because this says minus 24, the opposite of that is adding 24. So 6x equals, and 12 plus 24 is 36. 6x, so we're going to divide both sides by 6. So x is 6. Alrighty. Distribute. Hopefully you guys are getting the hang of this. So let's get this distributing. 4 times x and 4 times 8. So we have 4x plus 32 minus 4. We still have our 34 minus 2x. All right, so I like to get my letters together. So I have a 4x on one side and a negative 2x on the other side. Since they're on opposite sides, you have to either add or subtract to get them together. So we are going to add 2x to both sides. So 4x plus 2x is 6x. And then if we look, these are like terms. So 32 minus 4 is going to give us 28. And over here, these cancel out. Now we're going to subtract 28 from both sides. So these cancel out, and 6x equals 6. So to get this 6 away from the x, we're going to divide by 6. So it looks like x is 1. Alrighty, hopefully that is enough of a review for you today. I think we might have one more with some fractions. So we're going to go through this one just because it has some fractions in it. And we've got distributive on both sides. So you can use your calculator and you can take 2/3 times 9. So you should probably try and do this one on your own just to make sure you can handle that fraction. So 2/3 times 9, 3 goes into 9 3 times. So we're going to end up with 6 plus 2/3 x. And on the right-hand side here, we've got negative 5 times 4, which is negative 20. And negative 5 times negative x, so a negative times a negative, is going to be a positive 5x. All right, so now I am going to subtract 2/3 x from both sides. And at the same time, I'm just going to add 20 and add 20. So I end up with 26 equals, and 5 minus 2/3 is 4 1/3 x. Now, I'm going to do this maybe a different way than what you would. You guys could just grab your calculator, and there's a reason you have your calculators. So just grab your calculator, and you can take 26 and divide by 4 1/3. Divide by 4 1/3, and you can get your answer. Now, I don't happen to have a calculator with me right now, so I'm going to have to do this a little bit different. So we are at 26 equals 4 1/3. So I need to change this to an improper fraction. So 4 times 3 plus 1. So that's 12 plus 1 is 13 over 3x. Now remember how we do this. If this is a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. So because this is 13 over 3, I'm going to write 3 over 13. So I'm going to multiply by 3 over 13. Because on the right-hand side, these 13s will cancel, and the 3's will cancel, and you're left with just this x right here. So now on the left-hand side, 13 goes into 26 2 times, and this says multiply. So I'm going to go 3 times 2, and I get 6. Now, if you guys just did that on your calculator, you should get the same exact answer. I just didn't happen to have a calculator handy to be able to do that. All right. Hopefully your assignment will go well for you today. Good luck.